Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Pigment and Pixels. So today, I thought I'd show you guys how I clean up my Nes cartridges. It's very simple, very easy, but recently I got a bundle of games off of eBay, which you can find quite a bit for good prices if you look. Only problem is, it's eBay, so buyer beware. But we're gonna start with this first one, which had the most damage, but I wasn't too worried about it because I'm pretty sure I can get a new sticker for it, or I can get a new cartridge if necessary. But check this bad boy out. Wow, look at that label damage. Like, what is the story behind this? The best part is, guys, this is not even the worst of them, believe it or not. But so far, as far as label damage goes, I'd say that's pretty significant. So the first step I usually take when I'm doing these is I like to spray them down with a little bit of the old window cleaner here to kind of clean off the surface on front and back. So I'll just take a little skirt right there, and you can use like a little soft sponge or paper towel, and you just lightly go around the surface and kind of buff all the grime out, get all the gunk and stuff that's built up between these cracks here, these patterns. I like to do front and back. I've already done these like twice already today, just because not because I'm a germaphobe or anything, but just because I take pride in what I do with my cartridges. Fortunately for me, man, look at that fade. Fortunately for me, I think this is like my third copy of Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt together. Man, I can't get over that damage. Look at that. Good Lord. But so once I'm done doing the surface polish and trying to get all the grime and whatnot off, that's when we turn to my best friend, Mr. Isopropyl alcohol. You can get these for pretty cheap. You want to get close to 100% as you possibly can. This is useful for cleaning off the actual circuit board that's underneath right there, that little circuit board. Back in the day when I was a kid, we used to actually blow these out, like actually hold the cartridge up to your mouth and blow right along the cartridge, because we thought we were getting the dust out, and that actually makes it worse. Your saliva will do far more damage to these things. It'll eat away at it, whatever. Anything, really. Alcohol is the best. I believe Nintendo used to sell cleaning kits for these too, which was kind of nice, but you could just go down to the grocery store, get yourself some Mr. Isopropyl, and then you get yourself some little cotton swab Q-tips here. Now, let's see here. So, this is the first deep cleaning they've had on the circuit board. I've actually seen some videos where people would actually take apart these cartridge holders, and they would take a little pencil eraser and scrub out the circuit board. So we're just gonna dip a little bit of isopropyl on there, not too much, but just enough. Set that aside right now. Don't go away, Mr. Isopropyl. I'm gonna need you. And we're gonna keep one side dry here down the bottom. Take the wet, damp side, and we apply it. And it's just like flossing your teeth, really. Gonna lightly go across the surface, getting in deep, just going along nice and easy, getting that grime. All this dust. You wouldn't believe how much crud builds up on these guys. But this isopropyl method, it works great. The closer to 100% you can get, the better. And see, look at that. That's just the. Try to get in the good camera view here. There's a little bit of black grime on there. That's the stuff that builds up. But this method here works really well. I've had great success with almost all my tapes, cartridges, and whatnot. I've had games that were glitchy and buggy after you put them in the machine. And oh wow, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that crap! nasty. It just builds right up on there. Okay, so I've done the damp side, both sides. Now we're going to take the dry. We'll go right along again, top and back. This also works, believe it or not, on Game Boy cartridges or Super Nintendo cartridges, N64 cartridges. That alcohol, it just cuts in there, and look at that, get some more grime out of there. Mr. Isopropyl, he gets right to work. He rolls up his sleeves and he says, "Let me at it." Nice. Get that gunk out. But what a difference it makes. I have no regrets. This is a great method. Maybe someday I'll take one of these guys apart and try the eraser method to compare how it works. I'll set that aside for now. That's number 1 on today's list. And we're just going to let it air dry for a little while before we test run it. Okay, let's see. Contestant number 2, come on down. Check that out. Check that out right there. This is a lovely little game called Star Tropics. Love that artwork. I love that label. It really leaves you wondering what this game is about. It's got like a little island on it because you actually do explore a bunch of islands. You play as a little kid looking for his dad. And you go around from island to island talking to the natives and battling monsters and figuring out where to go. A lot of fun. You could almost make a movie out of that. I would sign up for it. And that's saying something because video games into movies don't usually transition very well. So we're going to get Mr. Isopropyl out again. Dampen one side. You know, I'm actually going to take a second here and point this out. Look at, I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but look at these, whoever this seller was that I bought these from. They got all these air bubbles or like marks where maybe some intense heat was applied because all the damage is under the surface, really. Now, I already applied the window cleaner to it. A little scuffed up on the back, but no big deal. Mostly just I don't understand how the front got these bubbles. Oh well. So we're going to take Mr. Isopropyl here and we're going to let him start plugging away. Get in there. Clean those circuits. Get right between the teeth. Move right along. Clean them nice and deep. Let's see there. And a little bit of grime on there. Not too bad. Let's do the other side. Oh my, look at this. I don't know if you can see it very well, guys, but see that? All those yellow, grimy, those are all those bubbles. How they get inside? That must have been they must have been left out in the sunlight. I'll bet you these were left out for like a yard sale or something, and nobody took the time to cover them up. They were left out in direct sunlight. I'm actually going to give him some more alcohol there. Hard times call for harder drink. Get in there, Mr. Alcohol. And I'm starting. Here we go. Doing the bottom side of the cartridge now. And you can take these plastic holders apart and clean up the insides of the circuit board, but you usually shouldn't have to. It should just be these right here should do. You want to go across too sometimes there. If you get a nice little squeak out of these, that usually means you've cleaned them up pretty good. Let's see. That one's not too bad. That one's not too bad. Man, it just hurts my feelings a little bit. See all this surface damage done to it with the bubbles. Take care of your cartridges, guys. You know, take good care of them. I don't care if they're old or you think they're junk. You know, might be cheap plastic, but I'm gonna add a little Mr. Isopropyl to the surface. See if he'll polish this off. I don't think he's gonna get the bubbles out. I might have to either sand that down or get a new plastic holder altogether. Plenty of nerds out there selling plastic parts for cheap. Ah, there we go. Get between these little patterns right here. A lot of gunk builds up on them. You could say it's a little tedious of me to be doing this, but it's a hobby. It's a hobby like anybody else has them. Some of us are born hunters and fishers and truckers and racers. Some of us are born musicians and nerds. Everybody's got a little bit of something. Everybody's got a little bit of something that they have fun with. And that's just fine. It takes more than one color to make a rainbow. Alright, so number 3, guys. You're not going to believe this, but I'm sure there are worse damages out there. This one caught me off guard when I looked at it in the box, and I was just like, wow, really? What is the story behind this? What did you people do to it? A little game here called Legacy of the Wizard. Kind of it's a tough game a little bit. It's fun, but they don't really tell you what to do or give you any instructions. There's no tutorials, which was just fine back in the day. I mean, that was early gaming. They didn't usually give you a lot of directions on where to go, unless you read the manuals. I forget the story behind this. I think it's something about there's an evil dragon about to be awakened, and this family of wizards has to set out and break the curse and stop it from waking up or something. But let's take a minute to look at this. Look at this mess. So right here we have this faded white, gray, yellow surface. And that just further leads me to think that maybe this was left out in direct sunlight. And I mean intense sunlight. Man, but the sticker is all scratched up, like something's been dragged across it several times. And, you know, we got more air bubbles. More bubbles down here. Oh, Mr. Isopropyl, you're gonna have to really work for your money today. Don't know if you guys can see that very well. I'm trying to shine my light on it, but right along the inside on this lip here, there's more of these air bubbles, but there's also a lot of brown gunk and grime in there. Back doesn't look too bad. Stickers and fairly, you know, I'd give it 2.5 out of 5. I'm not really impressed, but it's not the worst I've seen. Oh boy. And then this really annoys me. You know, a lot of people would mark their tapes back in the day, these cartridges, with a black marker or whatnot, put their name on it. It wasn't uncommon to see people's names. But those you can wash out, buff them off and everything. And somebody got the bright idea with this one, and they carved their initials into it. AW. Man, they used like this must have been a knife or something with a strong tip. You know, you basically just ruined the whole cartridge. I'm sure I can get another plastic holder for it, but still, I mean, took out rough on the equipment. So I've already washed the surface front and back with Mr. Window Cleaner and cleaned her up as best I could there, but let's get right into this. Oof. Oh, the doctor stat. Mr. Isopropyl. I'm actually gonna clean right up along the inside first before I get to the circuit board. Oh man, so much gunk. These had to have been left out in the sun. That really burns me up. There we go. And a little bit right there too. So we got some stuff off. It's not too bad. I'm just just gonna go ahead and dip this in again on the other side. There we go. Don't worry, we're gonna do what we can for you. Married or happy? I think that was an old Three Stooges joke. Curly was, I think Mo told, I watched this episode where Mo told Curly to shave some ice. Curly's over there with a big ice block in the barber's seat. They were supposed to be cooking a family dinner. He's got it over there in the chair and dressed up with a big apron, sharpening up his razor. Yeah, there's some gunky nastiness in there. Curly asked the ice block, so you married or happy? Oh, happy? There's nothing wrong with that. Three Stooges were really ahead of their time for as far as humor went. Think about that. A show that was in the 30s and 40s and 50s, whatever, they're still funny to today. That tells you the quality of their content. I think about random stuff when I'm doing this. I like to ramble with my thoughts. That's where inspiration comes from, you know? Rambling with your thoughts. There. Ooh, she's a little dark there. Not the worst I've ever cleaned out, though. I've cleaned these suckers out once and I had just pure black over one side. There we go. Oh, you can hear it squeaking already. Okay, and flip. Just like brushing your teeth, just like flossing them even. Get in there. Yeah. Well, that's not too bad. I just can't get over how much damage was done to this poor thing. Oh well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe if I repair them, I'll make a video on that. Change out the circuits and whatnot. It's pretty simple and rudimentary. You got these three screws in there. You just pop those off. You do have to be careful on the inside. Whichever side of the circuit board is facing down has to stay down when you put it into the new one. Attention to detail. Alright guys, well, that's gonna be it for today. I gotta get ready for work. I hope you all enjoyed and maybe you learned something. Maybe you just rambled with your thoughts. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, till next time guys. See ya.